deep into session now. Small session we got going on here. But, we were talking yesterday a little bit about being an authentic disciple. Really digging into liberation from birth and death, from the traps of dualistic understanding. And we got people across the country zooming in all day. We got people who flew in to be here. We got folks who are feeling ill still zooming in. It's really quite inspiring and really powerful. I know Seisen Roshi always said that she appreciates a small group sitting together. And I think for a while at least, our dear master Dogen had a pretty small sangha himself. And he was like the guy, or the person. So I really appreciate all of our authentic efforts. And I thought maybe a little cheese ball, but maybe let's just take a second to thank ourselves, to appreciate ourselves, show gratitude for the effort that we're giving. Maybe just take a second to really feel that gratitude. This is not an easy practice, so we should all be, I don't know, proud of ourselves. Proud is a weird word, but yeah, proud that we're making this effort. So, just a short little talk today. I've been, working a lot and kind of doing everything for session, so I haven't really had a chance to look too much more into the Diamond Sutra, but that's what we've been talking about. The Diamond Sutra. Why diamond? Because diamond cuts. It cuts through our delusion, cuts through our attachments. So, the Buddha is basically addressing a question or various questions from this one of his students, disciples, Sangha members named Subhuti. We already looked at a couple chapters, so we're going to look here at chapter 4. This chapter is called Unattached Practice of Charity. So the Buddha just gets done talking about living beings, right? We talked about that yesterday. Conceiving of all living beings and how all of them are awakened intrinsically. So he continues, the Buddha. Furthermore, Subhuti, in the practice of compassion and charity, a disciple should be detached. That is to say, he should practice compassion and charity without regard to appearances, without regard to form, without regard to sound, smell, taste, touch, or any quality of any kind. It's hard to say anything on top of that. That just kind of covers it all. It's just very, very hard to see. I've been sitting a lot with the fact that we have this small session here, and even a number of people have, asked me, what do we do about so few people here? And if I really look at my concern about that, why does that concern me? Why is that something to fret about. Um, it pretty much comes down to, well, it doesn't look good, right? Yeah, there's kind of a more genuine concern of like, I want more people to wake up. But to really have that pure intention, um, not just, holding sesshin, but cleaning the kitchen and helping your neighbor or volunteering at your local shelter or soup kitchen or whatever it may be, planting a tree, weeding the garden, um, to really do that completely detached without regard to appearances. How does this look? What will others think of this? How will I think of this? Even that. Can we completely let go? I think more and more that sitting, doing zazen, doing sesshin, really digging into this shining the light inward practice really is social action, really is activism. I know there's been like a history of a lot of conflict between meditators, spiritual people, and then social activists, because why are you wasting your time sitting on the floor working on yourself? You should be out in the streets, you should be building houses. What could you possibly, how could you be helping the world sitting on the floor? Um, and I just feel it. I feel that the work that we're doing here together, or even if you're alone, even if you're in a cave in the middle of nowhere, sitting by yourself, I really do believe that the opening and the transformation that we do here ripples out, ripples out into the world and touches others, not just in kind of a karmic, invisible way, but literally. Literally, I can see it in my life that the softer, the more open, the more intimate with non knowing that I get on the cushion, the better I treat people, the more effortlessly I help others. Um, so, yeah, it may appear the form of what we're doing may be silence and stillness, but I really think that sitting uh, is a charitable work. I really do. And, going out in the world and like doing action and engaging in various projects and, other activisms. Sure, yeah, that's great too. Awesome. We should do both. But obviously, the famous koan that we always talk about here, one of Bernie Glassman's favorites, how do you step off of the 100-foot pole? So, yeah, we're in session climbing this 100-foot pole. And how do we manifest that? Obviously, or maybe not so obviously, we have the opportunity to step off that pole every minute, washing the dishes, saving the planet, whatever it is. We have the opportunity to be a bodhisattva, to be charitable, I know I've been plagued by, I'm not doing enough. I haven't joined enough groups. I haven't attended enough seminars or protests. I haven't given enough money. And every moment, no matter what you're doing, uh, who you're with, you can be doing charitable works. I really do think that. Um, it's kind of like another koan. I forgot exactly how it goes, but a monk asks somebody, why does Avalokiteshvara have a thousand eyes and hands? Right? There are some depictions of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion, where they have a thousand arms and a thousand eyes, or something like that, because they can see and help all beings. And so the monk asks, why is it? Or what is that like? Or something like that. What is the meaning of having so many abilities to help? And the teacher or the other monk says, it's like reaching back for your pillow in the middle of the night. So if we can do everything like that, right? When you reach back for your pillow in the middle of the night, there is no concept of me doing it. There's no concept of pillow. There's no effort, total effortlessness. It's just you're half asleep, just automatic. So I think that's what he's getting at here. Practicing until compassion, charitable acts um, are just automatic. Stepping off that pole without even thinking. Um, so the Buddha goes on. Why? Why should we do charitable acts without, totally detached? Because practicing compassion and charity without attachment is the way to reaching the highest perfect wisdom. It is the way to becoming a living Buddha. That's interesting. Just effortless compassion, and you're a Buddha. That's it. You don't need any special garment. You don't need any special title. You don't even need to sit zazen, honestly. For me, lots and lots and lots and lots of zazen helps and works to encourage that totally detached compassion. But shit, I know people that do it without having ever even heard the word Zen, ever. There's nothing special about Buddhism, nothing special about Zen. It's just a tool that works for some of us to have a thousand arms and eyes. So yeah, that's the highest perfect wisdom. Being a source of compassion without any sense of compassion. Compassionless compassion. Great, another oxymoron. Wonderful. Subhuti, Buddha continues, do you think that you can measure all of the space in the eastern heavens? And then Subhuti answers, no, most honored one. One cannot possibly measure all of the space in the eastern heavens. The Buddha asks Subhuti, can space in all the western, southern, and northern heavens, both above and below, be measured? No, most honored one. One cannot possibly measure all the space in the western, southern, and northern heavens. When I read this, I don't think because it's so big. I think because it's beyond size, right? It's kind of interesting. He doesn't say it's too big to be measured. He just says can't be measured. Can't measure zero, and you can't measure infinity. So he's like, can you possibly measure all these, heavens? And Subhuti says, no, you can't. And then the Buddha says, well, Subhuti, the same is true of the merit of the disciple who practices compassion and charity without any attachment to appearances, without cherishing any idea of form. It is impossible to measure the merit they will accrue. Subhuti, my disciples should let their minds absorb and dwell in the teachings I have just given. So I think it's pretty clear to most of us that we're not really thinking about accruing merit in any kind of like meritocracy way, right? We're not trying to be best. Wasn't that Melania's thing? Melania Trump? Yeah, be best. We're not trying to be best. We're not even trying to be good. Let go of that. Almost every Zen teacher I've worked with is so good at like completely letting go of niceties. I remember not just with Seisin, but other teachers I've worked with, I always want to be like, oh, thank you so much. It was so good to see you. And I really appreciate the ability to just let go, because those are forms, those are concepts. Let's, the ability to just say, okay, bye, on to the next. I don't know. I haven't really thought about that much. It's just coming to mind. But completely detached. Not trying to be good, not trying to be liked, not trying to be admired, not trying to be inspiring. Anything, any phenomena, any adjective. Completely let go. It's very hard. I want to be liked so badly, and it gets in the way. So, yeah, it's not about accruing merit or being some kind of good or some kind of anything. It is impossible to measure the merit they will accrue. That's why I think it's not about the heavens being so big, it's about the heavens being so nothing, zero and infinity, right? He didn't say, you'll accrue so much merit that it'll take you lifetimes to count all of it. He's not saying that. He's saying, shut up about merit. Let go of merit. Let go of getting better, progress. Doesn't mean we don't aim for progress. Doesn't mean we don't put ourselves forward and entertain vision of progress, but to be completely detached from it. I remember when I was really young, I had just started working with Seisen, and I went in there and I was to the Doksan room and I was like, it really seems like This practice is like a really long construction of a building. And she laughed and she said, to me, it's like blowing up the building. That was very loud for me and important. We have to build the building, otherwise, we wouldn't come to session, we wouldn't have a Zen center, we wouldn't have a job, we wouldn't eat food. We have to build something. Um, but can I blow that up every moment, completely detached from my charitable building? It's hard, but I thank you all for doing that hard work with me. One more day, difficult stuff. Let's get to it.